Today we have the Haval H6 hybrid. Is this car as good as it looks on paper? Is it that fuel efficient? And it has so much of tech, but does this tech work as well as some of the other car brands in the industry? Join me today in this video and watch till the end as I take you through all the good things and all the bad things about Haval's first hybrid in South Africa. So firstly, looking at the car, what will strike you is the grille. They actually changed the headlight design and the front grille, so it's very, very elegant to look at. And you've got LED lights all over. One thing to note is there's sensors everywhere. Like you've got front sensors here, you got the fog lights, and they're all LED, by the way. So LED lights everywhere. You got the front sensor, which will give you not just adaptive cruise control but intelligent cruise control, and that's amazing. It's got smart collision avoidance, rear cross traffic alert, the works. If you come around the side, you know, normally when cars come with various models, you'll have maybe 17-inch, 18-inch. This one doesn't have 18 or 17, it's got 19-inch. Just have a look at how it looks. It's stunning black alloy wheels. Although it's got 19-inch wheels, but it doesn't give you the most ground clearance. It only gives you about 170 millimeters. My measuring stick is working. Not the best, but it's got almost the best everywhere else. If you look on this side, you do have keyless access. If you're accessing it from the passenger side, it doesn't open very well, but here it actually works. But there, you press this button here, it locks the car, and you press again and it opens, and you can go. Again, you'll notice there is sensors all around. Before we get to the fuel tank and the other side, let me take you through the boot. Now, it is a powered tailgate. If you look at the remote here, it does have a button for the boot, but it doesn't for some reason open the boot. So I'm not sure why this. Oh, there, wait, it's opening. It actually doesn't always work, but maybe because I'm videoing now, it started working. So if I measure this boot correctly, let me just check. Okay, it's exactly 600 liters. You'll notice that it's not the deepest of boots, although it is 600 liters. The reason why it's not super deep is because the battery is under. Would you guys like to see? So have a look. Here's the battery. Here's the whole hybrid system. So that's why the boot is not as deep as it would be, because the hybrid system is sitting at the back. You've got your battery here and everything else there. So you can see there is no spare tire. So moral of the story, although you are saving in fuel, you're losing a spare tire because of it. So just don't get stuck, or just get good roadside assistance. So now to close the boot, you can press this button here. Sometimes it's not responsive, so you might have to press it twice. Let's actually see if it works here. Oh, you know what I was actually doing wrong? I was actually keeping on the button, and that actually didn't allow it to close. Wait, I need to open the boot again to put my bag back. So as I promised you guys, the car does have a fuel tank on this side. It's a 60-liter fuel tank, and I'm actually happy about that, because some of the cars in the segment come with a 50 or 55, and 60-liter, given the fact that you've got a battery as well, the range is really good on this car. You can notice that it is quite long. It's actually a bit longer than the Toyota RAV4, and it's longer than the Toyota Corolla Cross. And because it's longer, see how it looks inside. I mean, look at this knee room. Even if you had 4 knees, you'll be able to fit in here. I mean, you can sit like this. It's exceptionally big at the back. And then if you look here, it's got, I think, 7 or maybe 10 speakers, and the sound is very good in this car. You'll notice the sound is speakers here, and all around you'll find them. It's got automatically electric windows on all 4, which is very nice. And also you notice that the material used in this car, you can feel that it's a good quality, a premium build. This might feel a bit plasticky, but this here feels very nice. The actual leather used is good as well, and it's very, very comfortable. In fact, I don't feel like moving from here, but I have to show you guys the car. And you'll see it's quite nice. I mean, they got it's not red stitching as with sporty cars, but it does have white stitching everywhere, which gives it quite an elegant look. If you pull this down, you do have 2 cup holders, and as you will notice, this thing is quite sturdy, which I think is quite important, so it doesn't, you know, move around as you're driving. And again, it's got a 3-point harness, so it's got a full seat belt for the middle passenger, which can slot in like that. And if you look a bit up here, you can see it does have a full panoramic sunroof, and it actually opens right to the end. You know, some cars, the sunroof at the top just pops open. This one actually opens fully. And then you'll see it does have these pouches here. It also has 2 USB ports at the back, USB-A, not USB-C. It does have air vents at the back, which is neatly situated. And again, on this side, you got your speakers. There is no bottle holder on the actual seat itself, but you can make use of these ones that I've showed you here. You can make use of these. So overall, knee room, headroom, I mean, even if you're 1.8, I'm sure you should be fine. And look at this. I mean, even if you're 1.7 or 6 feet, it maybe will come till here, your driving position, but you'll be more than comfortable at the back. There's absolutely nothing to complain about. So I'll bring your attention firstly to this panel on the side. I did mention you have all round electric windows, which is over here. So see here, so you do that, It's quite quick. You can control your side mirrors, you can lock this the doors and unlock over here, which is quite easy. You know, Haval have done some nice touches in this car, because if you look here, you just press this button, this opens. It's quite neat. It doesn't slide forward and back, but that doesn't really matter because it's already quite generously big. You got a place here for cup holders, and then this dial here actually works very well to put it in reverse, neutral and drive. This car does have different drive modes. It has eco, normal and sport, but as you'll notice, there's no way to do it here. You can only do it on the infotainment system. So the aircon, to put it on and off, you can press this button. So you'll see the red light comes on, and then as you'll notice on the screen here, you control the dials here, so you can put it higher here or lower while you're driving. And if you had a knob here, it would have been easier. It's not a train special. You can do it probably at the robots, or if you had a standstill. I wouldn't suggest while you're driving to change the aircon. And also, if you wanted to change the driving modes, you cannot do it here. You actually just swipe right here, and you can see here you got normal, eco, and then sport. You can control your heated seating here, and again, there's no buttons to do that. Your steering wheel heating and all the other accessories, you control it here. You can actually check here what your car is doing. So you do get like intelligent driving. Remember, I told you guys that this car has lots of tech. I actually will have to look at my phone to tell you all the tech, because I can't remember it. It's just so much. You get lane assist, side assist, traffic sign. It's got traffic sign recognition, and also it's got a heads-up display. So on the heads-up display, you can see your speed limit. You can actually see where on the lane you are. You've got intelligent cruise control, not just adaptive cruise control. So that's the amount of tech that this car has. Rear cross traffic alert. It's got the works. And then if you look at all these buttons on the side, as you can see, you can park itself. I'll link a brochure to the car, and you'll be able to see all the features it's got, but I'll just mention a few. So it's got cornering brake control, it's got hill descent and uphill assist, it's got tire pressure monitoring system, pre-collision warning, and automatic emergency braking, that's AEB, for pedestrian and cyclists. It's got traffic sign recognition, blind spot detection with rear cross traffic alert, and lane change assist. It's got the 360 camera. Let me show you that. Just have a look at this here. It's so cool. So you can see the door is open. It even shows you that on this side and on that side. You can actually control any side you want to see. So this 360 camera works very well. And if you are reversing into a parking, you can get like a bird's eye view, so you can see exactly when you are in the parking bay. So if you are approaching maybe a wall or somewhere, it will show you how many centimeters you are, which is, I use that quite a bit. 7 airbags, reverse memory assistance, fully automatic parking system, so you don't have to do anything. It has wireless charging over here. It's a quite generous space, and if you didn't notice already, it's got a double decker here, so you can actually put some things here. If you haven't noticed, there is no USB ports here, but it's in a kind of an awkward position. I think it's on the sides here. On my side, driver's side, you got where you can charge, and on this side you can put your media. You got your cubby here, and in terms of comfort, it's absolutely comfortable. The steering wheel, it's very comfortable as well. You get used to it. It is a bit on the small side. It's not as thick. If you're used to a thick steering wheel, it might not be the thickest for you, but it's very nice. Although one also downside about this car, there's not many, is the cruise control is controlled here. Now if you are in this driving position, you probably have to practice before you're driving, because you need to figure out where everything is, resume, set your distance, and everything is get controlled from here. In terms of the steering wheel itself, you cannot telescopically adjust it forward and back. Well, actually you can. Sorry, you can do that. Excuse that part. So it's up, down, forward and back. So it's got a full function there. And the cluster in front is completely digital. Just have a look at this cluster. I mean, it looks super cool. As you can see, the door is open. I'm just going to press a few buttons. Camera is on, so you can adjust it with the up and down arrow, and right and left here. And then you can press the OK button as well. So it's a very funky looking digital cluster, which is quite nice. So now I'll take you through on the in-drive to tell you exactly what is it like to drive this hybrid. How fuel efficient is it? Are there a few things that are not nice? Let's take Haval's first hybrid in South Africa on a drive and see how it performs on the road. You know, right off the bat, I have to say that this hybrid is absolutely smooth, and the engine is so refined. I'm automatically feeling that it feels much better than the Toyota Corolla Cross hybrid. The reason I'm comparing it to that one is because I have reviewed that on my channel, and the Honda Fit hybrid, but I'll compare it more a bit to the Corolla Cross because that's more similar in size. Now there is also a RAV4. I haven't driven that one yet, so I can't really compare it to that. I know the CVT engine in the Corolla Cross used to make quite a lot of droning noises. I'm not getting any of that noises in this car. It's just so comfortable. When this car changes from the battery to petrol, you don't even actually notice. The only time you'll notice is if you look at on the screen and it tells you that, you know, you switch into petrol. but other than that you will not notice it because it switches over so quickly. The car does have 179 kilowatts of power, 530 newton meters of torque. So the torque numbers, the kilowatt numbers are fine for the car this size. I'm sure that what you're very interested in this car is the fuel consumption and all the tech that I mentioned. So let's start off with the fuel consumption. Now, Haval does claim that the fuel consumption on this car is about 5.2 liters. As you know, a hybrid car like this would be most fuel efficient in traffic. So it depends on what proportion they were driving in traffic and what proportion they were driving on highway. That will definitely impact. So I was getting an average of between 6 and 6.2 liters. Now that's been across traffic and highway driving, but a lot of times in traffic, so that's why it's probably more close to the 6 number. For a car this size, I'm sure you'll agree with me, 6 to 6.2 liters, you will not be complaining with that fuel consumption. If you're looking at 6 liters per 100 on a 60-liter fuel tank, you got 1,000 kilometers of range. I'm sure that's quite good. All the tech in this car, now it does have intelligent cruise control, intelligent dodge. Now I didn't test how good it is in dodging. I'm going to trust Haval when they say that it can dodge a car. I'm not going to test that for you guys. I did mention that it has a rear cross traffic alert. So if you are driving or you're reversing and it picks up a car coming behind you, well, it depends on the speed of that car. So if the car comes quite fast and you won't even be close to the car, this car comes to like a standstill just like that, so quickly and very abruptly. So it seems like you've done something wrong. So if you have passengers in the car and they don't know that the car has a rear cross traffic alert, they're going to think you just slam brakes, because that's what it feels like. And it makes this like kind of a screeching sound, which is not very pleasant, but at least you know it's going to save you in case you might have made an accident. The only time this happens is when I'm reversing out of my driveway. So I'll be reversing out, I wouldn't even be close to coming out of the driveway, not even past the gate, and a car will come past like this, and then it makes a big sound and then just stops, this car here. But at least you know it stops. It's not going to let you even get close to bumping the car. So I think it's a bit premature, but you'd rather be safe than sorry. Another thing the car has is lane keep assist or lane centering. They call it ELK, emergency lane keep. So what happens is when you put this on, it will center you in the lane. But this technology is not the best for me. I think the Honda got it the best, and then Toyota, and then Haval, based on the cars I've driven. I'm not saying that this is the case with all the cars. What happens is here, it doesn't keep you centered in the lane properly. It actually lets you drift quite a bit before it brings you on, which I don't particularly like. When I tested it, then I put lane keep assist on, then I let it drift. On the right hand side, I noticed it picked up the line a bit early, but when the car drifts a bit to the left, that's where it gets a bit more delay than usual. So even when I was testing it, the first time I let it drift, I actually had to take the steering wheel and turn it because I didn't think it was going to. That's how late it does it. Then I decided, let me test it again when there's like absolutely no cars around. Then I was on one of the freeways. I let it drift as much as it could, and then it brought me on. It almost feels like it went into the other lane. It might have, it might not have, I'm not sure, but it is a bit too late for my comfort. So personally, I wouldn't use the lane keep assist feature. I will use the cruise controls, but if I own this car, then I would probably have to practice, because as I showed you in the interior, if you missed it, that the cruise control buttons are like behind the steering wheel at the bottom. So it's not easy to get to, and you can't actually see all the buttons. So you're going to have to stop the car, familiarize yourself with the buttons, and then make use of the cruise control. But nevertheless, it does have the feature. So it's got all those features that are exceptional for the long road. It's got a very good fuel efficiency. It's got a very seamless drive. As I drive this car, the more I drive it, the more comfortable I get. It almost feels like you're driving in battery mode the entire time. That's how quiet the petrol motor is, and that's why you don't know when you're switching from battery to petrol, because it's that quiet. That sound was a truck driving past, not the petrol motor kicking in. So what I said about the Haval hybrid still stands, if you were wondering what that sound was. All in all, I mean, it doesn't have the hugest battery. Oh yes, you do get an 8-year, 150,000 kilometer warranty on the battery, so that will give you comfort. Haval, I mean, as you notice, you can see it's very popular. So, you know, after sales and all of that, you should be covered. It is my first time driving a Haval. I have been requested quite a bit to drive this car, and you know, just to feel how Haval is, because I know a lot of people that have Havals. You know, with all the motor brands in the industry, you always wonder, you know, when there's new brands coming up, there's always like question marks about it, and people say how good they are, but I haven't driven one, so I couldn't give a personal opinion. But now I'm very happy to say that, you know, after driving a Haval, I can actually see what the fuss is about. let's talk about the price now. I mean, this is the ultra luxury model. It's got all the tech you can think of. It's not like when you buy this car, there's an optional extra to get leather seats and an optional extra to get blind spot monitoring and lane keep assist and all the tech that I mentioned. And there's a lot, trust me when I say there's a lot more tech than what I've mentioned about. Have a look at the brochure down below. They could easily have priced this car over R1 million with everything it's got. The stunning color, LED lights everywhere. You got fog lights that are LED, you got daytime running lights, you got headlamps that are LED, everything LED, right? In the interior, it's fully leather, comfortable steering wheel, good infotainment system, everything, right? Everything that I'm mentioning now. What do you guys think the price is? If you haven't heard the price before, you don't know about the car, I mean, you would probably think it's at least 800, 900, 1 million. But the car comes in at 670,000, actually just under that. And I think that's a phenomenal price for a car that is fully loaded with all this tech. You know, Haval have really hit it out of the park with this one. I mean, not just the interior, on the exterior, it just looks so appealing to look at. So after hearing this video, have you driven a Haval before? Are you looking into buying a Haval? Maybe you were looking at the H6, I mean, seeing how popular the H6 is. And now that the Haval came out with a hybrid, if you were thinking of the H6, would you now consider buying this hybrid? It is about maybe 80 to 120,000 more than the original H6 entry level. Would you consider the hybrid, or would you stick to the normal H6? But more importantly, what do you think about the Haval brand? Guys, thanks for watching this video. Please guys, hit the subscribe button. It'll really help the channel. Press the like button as well. I'm sure you must know someone that's quite interested to see what is the fuss about Haval. Everyone's driving Havals nowadays. Share this video with them, then they can actually see, you know, what this car is all about, and more specifically, because as petrol gets very expensive, hybrid cars are the way to go now. And I'll see you guys in the next video.